What's up, everybody? It's Philip Randolph, and it's 10 Minutes to Vent. And on 10 Minutes to Vent today, we're going to be talking about a controversial subject like we always do. But today, we're going to be talking about, should DNA tests be mandatory? All right? Should DNA tests be mandatory? And this topic is really specifically for my men. And because let's be honest, like the women are having the child. So we already know that the child is the woman's. But is the child really ours? We should know that. It really will give us a peace of mind, and we'll know how to prepare. Because let's be honest, you have about 7 to 8, 9 months to prepare before the child actually comes, and you can physically touch that child, whether it be a male or female. And the reason why I decided to make light of this topic, last week I was cutting one of my clients, and anytime I cut any of my clients, right, anytime I do any service for my clients, it's like a big therapy session, and they brought this topic up, and I was like, well, that would be a really good topic to talk about on my podcast. And honestly, I agree with him. The reason why is because so many different instances that I know personally where the alleged father has signed over his rights, and to find out years later that the child wasn't his to begin with. Now, that can be a crushing blow to a person's self-esteem, and also it can damage a person as far as having trust issues, with his future endeavors. Whenever he's talking to another female, that can definitely be a massive blow. And some people recover from it, but some people don't recover from it. And let's be honest, that will always be stuck in the back of your mind, thinking about, is this lady really is she telling the truth? Is she lying? Like, there's just so many thoughts that would be running in my head if I was in that position, And then again, I could be in that position now. I don't really know, because I've never taken a DNA test. But I definitely plan on taking a DNA test. And at this point in time in my life, my son, he's already 10 years old. So it's like we already stuck together now if the results came back. If the results came back and I wasn't his father. So, with that being said, it's like I almost waited too late. But to my son's defense, if I wasn't his biological father, I would still want him to know who his biological father is, because at the end of the day, it's not fair to the child as well. I just feel like as adults, we should really communicate. We should do better communicating, and we should be doing way better as far as being truthful with one another, especially when it comes to a case where children are involved, because this is a life-changing event. And I was just talking to my sister about this the other day. You can be a girlfriend, a boyfriend to an individual for an amount of time, right? It could be 3, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Whenever you are a parent, whenever you become a parent, you are in a job, right? And it's a job. It's a mandatory job. But it's not a job where you can just quit. Okay? Even if you're not in your kid's life, you're still a parent for life. For life. It doesn't stop. Parenting never stops. Okay? So this is a very serious subject, and I don't think that we should take it lightly. Just having a mandatory law, a mandatory rule that a DNA test should be required before the alleged father signs his name on that birth certificate should definitely be a law. It should be a rule. And honestly, guys, that's just a smart thing to do. So if you are younger, or even if you older, and you're having a child for the first time, make sure you get a DNA test. And that's, I'm gonna be honest with you, your significant other might be a little bit upset. They might be a little perturbed. but they'll get over it, because at the end of the day, you need that peace of mind. You're going out to work every single day to provide for your family, to provide for your significant other. You should know, and you should have that option. You should be able to choose that option to take a mandatory DNA test before you write anything on any birth certificate. Okay? Because we're already prepping, we're working, we put money to the side, we're doing all that. Make sure you get a DNA test, okay? Make sure you get a DNA test. And that right there can definitely eliminate a lot of confusion when it comes to just having a peace of mind, especially when it comes to the child, all right? Because when arguments starts to happen, when attitudes start to flare up, right? From both sides, a male and female, some heavy words starts to get exchanged, especially when we start to argue. I'm not saying every relationship is going to be peaches and cream, because it's not going to happen that way. But if it was to happen where y'all start arguing and everything like that, at least you know that that child is yours, okay? And you don't have to worry about second guessing and looking over your back when it comes to that particular part. Because when it comes to children, we as adults, we get very defensive when it comes to our children. And you should. Rightfully you should, okay? That's your job as a parent, is to protect your young, okay? In the animal kingdom, they do the same thing. You're supposed to protect your young by any means, okay? Protect your house by any means necessary, all right? Protect your house too, your mind, by any means necessary. And getting a mandatory DNA test definitely helps with that, all right? Like I said, this is a topic a lot of people might not want to talk about, might not even want to hear. But this is a topic that we definitely need to be talking about. And I feel as people, we should take a poll and maybe start putting together a petition where it should be a mandatory DNA test. Make it a law. Make it a rule that you have to get it done before you sign your rights away. Honestly, I'm just being honest with you. You want to make sure you do that, because once you sign that bill, once you sign that paper, guys, it's pretty much already set in stone. And you have to go through a lot of legalities to remove your name from a paper like that. And not only that, now you're going through psychological factors as far as self-esteem issues, trust issues, when it comes to women, when it comes to situations that might be serious, and now you don't know who to trust, because that right there can take trust out the factor with everything that you do. All right? Because whenever we're dating a woman that we really love, that we really like we put a lot of trust in that woman. And I'm just talking to the men right now, okay? We do. And regardless if you want to admit it or not, the woman is definitely supposed to be a peace of mind for us. It's supposed to be a helpmate for us. And anytime that trust factor is taken away, we start looking at women different. Not just the woman that did it to us, right? That did that deceitful act to us, but all of women. Okay? And honestly, it's not fair, but I understand. And that's the reason why we should definitely have an open line of communication, and we should still practice honesty between both parties. Okay? Because if we're honest, and I'm not saying just because you honest, she won't lie to you, or just because she's honest to you, he won't lie to you, ma'am. I don't know. We don't really know that. I just know with open communication, the odds of you being lied to when it comes to serious information like this, is slim to none. That's why I really, really, truly believe that we should make a petition, put together a petition for a mandatory DNA test. What do y'all think? Do you think that a mandatory DNA test should definitely be implemented before signing the papers, the birthright papers, when a baby is being born? Or do you think that everything I just finished saying is hogwash? It shouldn't matter if you slept with that girl, regardless if it's yours or not. You should be the father of the child. Let me know what you think. Like I always say, there's no right or wrong answers. I can't wait till you engage with me. I cannot wait to engage and respond back to your comments. Guys, it's Philip Randolph, and we just finished talking about should there be a DNA test, a mandatory DNA test before signing the birthrights. All right, guys, until next time, make sure you like, share, subscribe so you can stay notified. And to the next topic, guys, I'm out.